Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rose Review.
We back at it.
What episode 6?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Episode 6, season 3.
You would know.
We have Laddie here.
What up?
What's going on, brother?
What's good, my guy?
I've been wanting to do this interview. Do you remember?
No, I don't.
So I DM'd you on Twitter last year when I was doing this, like before the video, before anything.
All SoundCloud.
All just SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And he had no idea who I was at all. And I was just like, bro, like, do you want to do this? And you were like, I work a lot, all this stuff. And then we never like figured it out. I don't know.
It's dope how things
Here
come
we
full
are.
circle,
Full
right?
circle, right, man.
That's how I felt last
That
week.
360 movement. Full circle.
I don't know. It happens, bro.
Yeah, I
It
guess.
happens. Dude, so first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. So first of all, man, I love everything that you have out. I really there's one that I definitely want to talk about in particular. The song that you did with Tuck. I was working with Tuck.
Yo,
Tuck's my guy.
Tuck Ryan. What a
Yeah.
Shouts to Tuck Ryan. We've actually shouted him out a few times on this.
Love Tuck.
Yeah.
How was that?
that was dope, man. He didn't even know me before.
Yeah.
I wrote the song, so I wrote it and was like, who's dope as shit that can sing? And I heard him. I heard him at a it was a small show.
Like the press room or something?
Nah, it was what is it? The Sugar Tank.
Oh, he does hang out there a lot. Yeah,
so
yeah.
he was performing there, and I'm getting ready to walk out of this room after watching people perform, and I hear him, and I stopped. I turn around real quick. I was like, "Who the fuck is that?"
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't think, like, when you look at Tuck and then he starts singing and you're just like, no way.
I was shook.
Yeah.
His bass player, I thought it was him singing. Big black dude. I was like, word, like, yo, that shit is crazy. And I still hear the singing, and his mouth isn't moving. I look down, it's Tuck on the piano. I'm like, oh, yo, I need your number, boom, boom. So I try, and I sent it to him. He sent it back right away. We got to the studio Triforce, and we finished it there.
That's dope.
That's so great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I just wanted to make that connection. He's
That's my
he's
guy.
a special breed when it comes to like music
He's a
talent
music
wise.
guy.
He is something else.
He's a funky dude, for real. He's soulful as
Him
hell,
and
man.
Andy do a really good job with the AM/FM. Andy Mallett and the funk movement. He's like he plays. I think
His
he
radio
plays,
station?
I don't know what the whole situation. No. It's a band.
Oh.
Yeah, and my boy Josh, he's in it. And Tuck's in it as well, but I don't know like what his role is. I know he plays keyboard for sure in it, but like I don't know if he's singing. I don't know what the deal is.
So
there,
Tuck
but
is a producer.
no,
No. But
Tuck is an artist.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tuck is
okay.
a musician. Like,
Shit.
and crazy.
Yeah,
maybe we should talk to him too.
yeah. Nah, he's really cool. Definitely, that's easy. Lancaster Mennonite alum, believe it or not.
Shouts to Lancaster,
Yeah.
man. I guess.
I looked up to Tuck. I looked up to Tuck like so much in high school, like idolized.
That was your music.
So many people did. Oh my gosh, he doesn't even know that either. But like,
I guess now he will.
no, seriously, because we went to the same high school and
That's
like
dope.
everything that I wanted to do through high school was like, holy shit, like that's really dope. I want to get to where that is, and I did that, and that was really cool. But I mean, without having that as like something to look at,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have made any of the music that I made. Probably, I honestly probably would have just stayed in like my.
That's a
little bubble.
bold statement.
Nah, man.
That's a bold.
No.
statement.
In terms of just like actually actively going out and like seeking opportunities that were like given to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, dude. Because I was like, I want to be like Tuck.
Yeah, Tuck's the man. If I could sing like Tuck, I wouldn't rap. Dead ass.
That's a very good way to put that.
That's a great way to put
That's
that.
all I really need to know because I've heard you rap and
Look, I wouldn't rap.
You
I
can
would
definitely
not
rap, so
Appreciate
that's
you.
most certain.
But yeah, I
You know
wouldn't
what I
rap at all. Fuck that.
Tuck Ryan. Anyway, so that wanted to make that connection there. I really like in the way, I guess, just some of the projects that you have out. You got there's a lot of soul behind that. Where does that come from? Where does that stem from? Like I hear it, like I feel everything that you like your delivery. You know what I mean?
That comes from real life.
Mm.
I draw a lot of inspiration from my personal life.
Mm.
And the people around me, their personal lives. I can't say every story is mine,
Mm.
you know, but it all comes from real life situations. Loss, you mean, heartbreak, all of that. Fun, you mean, like, it's all real life. I feel like it's hard for me to write a record if I haven't really lived. You know what I mean? Like,
Completely understand.
I'm always looking for new experiences, so I always have something new to write about and a new feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wrote Looking, about I don't want to give it away. We'll come back.
Okay.
To that later,
Okay. We'll
but
come
yeah.
back to that. All right.
That's a
wait,
very
wait.
interesting perspective. We don't have a lot of people who actually have that perspective that have come on here, at least. Usually they say they get their drive from.
Yeah.
I don't know what
They-
do they get their drive.
They're like,
from?
oh, I like this artist, so I want to do that.
Exactly.
And like,
yeah.
Oh, I mean,
you know.
as far as inspiration wise, I think my inspiration for wanting to be as transparent and as real as I am in my music comes from rappers like DMX, Eminem, Tech Nine. Like, all of those guys have said really personal things in their music, and it's a therapy for them, and it helps me too. You know,
Is that how you view some of the things that you put out?
it's therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. I feel like if I didn't say some of the things I say on records, then I'd be like a really angry guy. You know what I mean?
It's almost like a form of therapy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it just like a.
I mean, not only that, but like for the listener as well. Some people might not be able to articulate their feelings the way that I'm able to. You know what I mean?
But people can relate
Yeah. People can relate
and
to
capture that all together in that.
Yeah, because there's no new problem under the sun. You
That's
feel
true.
me?
He cares about the listener. That's something that we haven't heard too.
Yeah.
You don't. A lot of the times we see artists and they have this idea of what kind of music they want to make.
Yeah.
And it's just their idea. They don't think about what the listener is going to think. They don't think, maybe.
Well, sometimes it's also hard because like as an artist, you gotta. Because I know where you're gonna go with this.
Yeah.
But as an artist, you also want to sit back and you got to be like, if it is something that's like so therapeutic and something that means a lot to you, as much as you can sit here and you can be like, I care about the listener, I think that's more of a skill than it is a need for a specific artist. If you have that skill, that's great. And I think that that's something, if you can read your audience well, absolutely use that to your advantage. Yeah. But the idea of people wanting to make music just for themselves comes from that, because the drive of being able to find something that like you can listen to every day, even though it's yourself, like, dude, I used to make music that I don't want to listen to because it was so bad, but like once I found something that I could make, like I listen to it all the time. But like things like when we have artists that'll come in here and just be like, I listen to my shit all the time, it's because they're actually proud of what they've done.
Yeah.
Or even not even that, like I bet you're writing as much as you possibly can in terms of like as situations arise. Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
So as that happens for him, it could even be for him like a thought process. Like, this is how I'm gonna channel what's going on in my head. If I have an issue, and correct me if I'm wrong. If I have an issue like in my head, instead of getting angry about it, I can work it out here when I put pen to paper, put it into my music, something that I care about, as opposed to just getting pissed off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times I am angry when I write, but like.
It's almost a coping mechanism for you.
Yeah, it's definitely a coping mechanism. Yeah. I think that started. I was like 11. My father passed, and I just started writing and doing it that way instead of punching kids in the face at school and then going home and get my ass whooped by my mom for getting kicked out of school. You know what I mean? So I was like, look.
When did this all kind of begin for you? And I know that's a question that we ask a lot on the show, but it really is. That's what it starts.
Yeah, what are the roots?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 11, 12 years old. I started writing and just rapping at lunch tables. I mean, just typical.
Have you been in Lancaster your whole life?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I started taking it serious when I was about 16, 17. And getting in the studios. Like, my brother, he passed. He's not, you know what I mean? He got me in my first studio.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I was 16. And we was over at, damn, what the fuck was that? I don't even remember what it was called anymore.
It was in the city?
Yeah, Mike and Mix.
Oh,
not even around anymore.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, I know what you're talking about, though.
So, that was my first studio session.
Goes far back.
So you've been here, and when did it get for you, like, because I did some digging, right? But I kind of want to know, like, when did you kind of really just define who you wanted to be? I think, kind of as an artist and how that, I guess, was shaped. Because you seem to have a specific kind of pocket that you like to rock with, and I really like it, and it fits everything that you do. And I just kind of want to know how that was shaped, because it seems really professional, and it seems like you've been working at finding something that's going to hit every single thing that you like to do in terms of being a musician outside of just like lyrically as a rapper. Like kind of just trying to figure out how that was molded.
That happened when I moved to New York. I was 21, 22 years old, moved to New York. And,
open that up for me.
Me and my cousins moved out there to pursue music. And just living somewhere other than Lancaster really helped open my mind and my eyes to a lot of other things.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Especially in New York. Random ass shit happens in New York all the time.
All the time.
You know what I mean? Like, I'd be on the train and somebody be like, "Oh, hey, you know, blah blah blah. We're having an art show. Come down and rap."
Yeah.
Cool. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So that, but in terms of like finding myself as a musician, that happened up there when I was like, yo, I don't want to keep talking about pistols and drugs, and you know what I mean? I was like, what kind of mark do I want to leave? You know what I mean? And I was like going through depression, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just I was homesick. I was, you know what I mean, dealing with a lot, just being by myself.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I just thought about the type of man and musician I wanted to be. And I took up my grandfather's name, my grandfather's first name. It's Laddie. He was a Panther. He was a Black Panther. He was an activist.
Oh, wow.
He's a minister now. You know what I mean? Like, he's somebody that I admire and want to be like one day. You know what I mean? And then did you guys ever watch Blue Mountain State?
Yeah.
It's a funny ass show. So Alex Moran, the main character.
Oh, that's what I comes from.
That's where I got my last name. Is somebody who's amazing at whatever he wants to do, but he's scared of his own success.
That's such like a cool twist. As because like you got one that's like, because like Blue Mountain State, like that's like, you know what I mean. But like the first part is like it's so meaningful, but then you also have incorporated kind of something actually really
a funny truth almost.
Exactly.
A funny truth. Yeah.
That's dope.
So that's where that came from. Me really figuring out what I wanted to do and the type of things I wanted to talk about and the approach that I wanted to take.
So you're definitely objective of everything you're doing.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm very critical. You know what I mean? Even when I'm having fun, like, I don't want to sound dumb talking about nothing. You know?
I can relate to that. Definitely can relate to that.
Word. I feel that. I think there's a lot of people that don't understand that. Exactly what you just said. What did you say? I don't want to
sound dumb talking about nothing. Like, the OGs always told me, you don't always have to talk about something, but don't sound dumb talking about nothing. So, and that really stuck. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You want people to, it's just, not a lot of people do that now.
But you got to think, like, that's why, like, Hove has been around for so long. You know what I mean? Wayne has been around for so long. Just M talks a lot about nothing, but he doesn't sound stupid doing it. My words are like a dagger with a jagged edge that'll stab you in the head. Whether you know what I mean, like, he just, what are you talking about? Nothing at all. Nothing. But he's putting words together.
It's like a puzzle.
A little bit.
It's scary. It's scary. It was really hard sometimes though. You know what I mean, to not be lazy.
Yeah, and I get that. Yeah. I think everybody goes through that kind of like that lull. I think one of the things I'm really interested in is the New York thing, because that's big, especially when you leave a place like Lancaster and being here for so long, you go away and you figure out that it's not like Lancaster at all, and you're just like, you're sitting there and you're like, this is amazing.
It was
it's not even that it's like a culture shock, I think, and I hear that from a lot of people that are out here, because I know a lot of people that have done trips. I know a lot of people who have moved away, come back, like just to visit.
Yeah.
And they say the same thing. They're like, I don't ever really want to come back here because the world is so much more than this. This pocket out here is just like, I don't know. That's at least the experience that I had. I love this place because it's my home, and I'm going to rep this place because it's my home until the day that I die. But what I'm saying is like, there's so much more, not like diversity, but I'd say like more experience and more opportunity I guess, outside of something like Lancaster County, and that's sometimes hard to get a grip for people who have been here since birth, I think.
I think no matter where you are, it's important that you leave to experience the world. You know what I mean? So you can grow, and you come back here, and you help other people grow. New York was great for me though. It was like being broke here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and being broke in New York. I learned big difference. You know what I'm saying? Big difference. But it just helped. It helped with everything. Like I said, it helped open my mind to new sounds and new images and just a whole type of. It gave me a new hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like things are slow here. You know what I mean? I think
that's kind of what I'm trying to get at is that like things are slow here. Change is slow here.
Change is slow.
And that's a constant. Oh, and our battery's dead. And that marks where our first break is going to be. But hold on, let me finish my thought.
That's fine.
Things are slow here. They really are. Change is slow. And it seems like every single time things are going to get better and better and better, there's always something that just doesn't make the mark. Yeah. And I find in different cities, like just even 45 minutes outside of here, when it comes to a performance setting, and we'll get back to this into our next break. This will be a good transition. But in terms of performing and opportunities for artists, if we're looking at this from a musician standpoint, so much more than Lancaster City. And Lancaster City has so much left to offer, and we'll talk about that when we come back. Thank you. All right, and we are back from our break. Sorry about that. That's a normal thing. It's a pain in the ass.
We've been doing pretty well though.
Yeah, we've been
doing really nice,
well. One little commercial break here and there. We're doing okay.
But before we left, we were actually talking about the state of Lancaster hip hop.
Absolutely, and we were talking about the opportunities that sometimes that other areas so close to us represent, like the Harrisburg, Reading, all of the Philadelphia, giving kids opportunities to just be themselves. Yeah. And it's just not something that really seems to be possible out here.
It doesn't seem like it has been. I don't know if it's the conservative nature that we've talked about before, but we want to know your perspective and how it's changed since you started. As you said, you grew up around here.
Exactly, and you've been doing this for such a long time.
Exactly.
I think that the opportunities for musicians, not just hip hop musicians, but musicians in general, has grown a great deal since I started making music and wanting to perform. Like, they used to no hip hop acts anywhere. Like, nah, use our liability. There's gonna be a fight. Somebody's gonna get shot. Something wild. Like,
we talk about that a lot.
Damn, we're 16-year-old kids. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. But I think it's grown a whole lot, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate the vendors. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I just don't appreciate some of their bullshit business tactics. And, getting these kids to promote a show and sell tickets for the show and all this other shit. Like,
and similar experience, and, I totally understand that because look.
Just go right into it.
I represent an artist. People who watch the show, or people who know me, know that I represent Kashi and I represent Vendor, two people that I've been working very closely with. Kashi and Vendor. Okay. Beats, definitely a Vendor.
He's crazy.
Really crazy.
Kid, wild.
Young kid, and he's a fucking whiz. Whiz. Yeah, for real. Anyway, so I represent these two guys. We did a show on Friday, and so we sold. I'm just going to give the numbers. The Holiday Jam show.
Okay.
Let me give you the numbers. And something doesn't add up to me. I haven't done as much investigating into the specific event that happened, the people who ran the event, but here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at when we did this event in the beginning, we had to pay a $50 security deposit. And this will all come full circle, right? We had to pay a $50 security deposit to play at the event. Then we sold tickets for the event. And then we get to the event, we perform. We sold $750 worth of tickets for that event, and expecting to get paid some sort of percentage for that. And we got $25 and our security deposit back.
A percentage.
And
the tiniest.
Exactly. And
that's not even $1 on every
and
ticket.
Exactly. So then we have to transition back to where it's like, all right, we can sit here and we can be like, oh, there's this opportunity, but it's one of the only opportunities. And I feel as though that is where maybe we differ, because we have so many great places to play, but it's all it's being held by a string, where it's like it's so difficult and so confusing for these kids because they are so young and this is their first time jumping into something like this, that they don't know the real from fake. And when you have somebody in there that knows the real from fake, and I hear that, I'm frustrated.
Because you've gotten paid for shows at the Chameleon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been paid well.
Like,
you know what I mean?
You've gotten paid.
Exactly. So it's like, I know when I walk out of there, what that somewhat would look like. And I know what the Chameleon makes. And I know, even if it's a small show,
I bet the Chameleon loves when those guys all bring their.
I just want to know where. I just want
a paycheck day.
I just want to know that I know the numbers of how many tickets that most people sold. I have a ballpark idea, right?
With the exception of a few people didn't sell that many.
Yeah, but like still, like most kids, some kids came in there selling like maybe 30 of the 50 that they gave us, or anything else, right?
Yeah.
And what was it? It was like a 30 ticket minimum.
They gave us 50.
But what was the minimum?
The minimum of what you needed to sell to play, there wasn't.
There wasn't a minimum.
It was just that it was that security deposit.
Yep.
So that minimum then became like, there was one artist that sold fucking two
tickets.
So what was going to happen if y'all sold all 50 tickets and needed more to sell? Was they going to cut you a bigger piece of the pie or not?
Well, we sold more than 50 tickets. And what they told us to do was they told us to write the names down, take the Venmo request, and then they could pick up the ticket at will call at the door. Right. So we would do the list, and then seriously. So then we Venmo'd them. Part of the $750 was Venmo'd for this specific purpose, because we had tickets. Like, we had people that wanted to come last minute. We were like, yeah, we can make this happen. Sure. There you go. Boom. There you go.
Let's put this in perspective. You pretty much paid for the whole venue. I don't know how much it costs to rent that shit out, but
I don't
it's
know
not
how
that
much the opener to the headliner sold. I don't know how many they sold, but I can tell you for a fact there was no competition for who sold the most tickets that night. I can tell you that we blew that out of the water and that's not what the point of this is. The point of this is that, like, you have young guys that are coming in here and are working their asses off to do things like promote and learn how to do this the right way, and the back end of that, where you should be getting the right treatment, isn't happening. So then you either are smart and learn, damn, exposure doesn't pay for studio time, right? Or you're still kind of just doing it because you want to rock with the wave, and it's good for you to get a show.
There's both sides of that, right? It's like, the exposure is a good thing, to be looked at is always good. You know what I mean? So as a musician, I can say that I've done plenty of shows where I'm like, damn, I hate the way this shit is set up. I hate how they're trying to do me, but you know what? I'm in another city. Let me just do it. Exposure.
Right.
Yeah. And then there's the, I don't really like how this is rocking. I'm not going to do it no more. But if I don't do it, then there's not another hip-hop show for another 6 months. You know what I mean? So I'm almost trapped into doing it anyway.
And it sucks because it seems like it's this kind of monopoly.
It is kind of like a monopoly.
No, literally, because it's like,
kind of is.
Because you have the two biggest venues in the area that could house,
at least the
well-known,
most
well-known, biggest is. That's how I would wrap that all in, right?
Yeah.
But you have the two venues who say that 6 months thing where it's like, oh, it's every 6 months, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That shows me that Lancaster City and the idea of liability and the idea of doing this once a month, led by somebody that doesn't even understand the culture in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, how would you look? I'm not saying that it's right. How would you look as a businessman? You mean, like, how would you look at a bunch of brown kids in a room talking about trap or whatever?
And I'm not saying that it's right either.
Exactly.
Trust me.
And we talk about
this
liability issue.
But what I'm saying is like, dude, come on. When are we gonna get to the point where Lancaster claims that they're like this?
They're not. I mean, that's their thing. Is like fake the funk. You mean, like, we're super like open to everybody, but not really.
But we don't book anybody except Tyler the Creator.
Okay, but
Or
so how
Davies.
do we? So it's a matter of like, then there's a problem.
Right.
This is where the problem lies, where it's like, are we going to be able to? There's the obstacles that we need to jump, like the liability issue, like things like
Which is there, but it's in a marginal. It's marginal.
yeah, it's not like it's
not
that big of
something that's a deal
but I am
breaker.
sick and tired, and I've said this time and time again.
We've been
of
preaching
the
it.
venues that they have here being only used for like folk music and
Yeah.
like
So what are
other
you gonna,
rock
so
shows.
what are you
like
gonna
that.
do about it?
We
We're
got to make
trying.
connections.
We're
That's
we're
the only
trying,
thing that
and we
exactly.
really are. And what my plan is to and this is something that we haven't really launched yet, and maybe something very soon in conversations that I actually just got off the phone with yesterday. What we're trying to do is we're trying to do a showcase that is similar to something that's kind of already going on, but we want to get the artist paid because that's what's important.
Yeah.
Because if you and pay them for what they're actually worth. Because if you come in and you're telling me that this is where we really need to start evaluating artists and not just saying anybody can show up, because then we can sit here and we can say, oh damn, well, okay, let's look at their Instagram profile, let's really look what's going on. Cool, they're saying, okay, I got X amount of followers, I can get this many people here, and you sell two tickets. Cool, I'm only paying you nothing.
Yeah.
So would you be going based off of skill or just pure numbers? You mean because
I'm going based off of when I'm talking getting paid, and it comes down to
I'm talking about like selecting the artist that you want to perform.
selecting the artist.
Are you
That's
gonna
going to
be
come.
listening? Or
That's
you,
no. That's gonna be something that comes from me, and it's not a matter of even playing the favorites at all that are even in my inner circle. It's for me where it's like I can step outside of favorites for music. I've got a lot of friends that make music that's absolutely garbage, and I will tell them that to their face, and I will never ride or die on that. But if I've got somebody that I really believe in, and they're in close to my inner circle, sure, I'll put them up there. No, you're good.
I'm
No,
hungry.
you're good.
that I'll put them up there, you know, and I'll give them that opportunity. But here's what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for the artist, and I'm looking for the person that's actually going to come in here and who regardless of whether or not they may not have a following to, giving them either a challenge, which is A, go sell the tickets, and B, show up, be prepared, come on time, a realistic time, right? Let's do a real sound check. Let's get you set up, and let's get you ready to perform a show if it's your first, if not your third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And let's make this into an actual production. Seriously, the artists that we can take seriously. I'm also going to look at numbers from a sense where it's like, okay, if you've been on SoundCloud for 2 weeks, I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I need to be able to say no.
Yeah. You need to have a portfolio almost.
Exactly.
And the professionalism thing with the current festivals, I guess not even festivals, concerts,
right,
showcases. The professionalism really isn't there.
right.
Would you agree with that?
Agreed.
Would you agree
And
that
I
the
think
punctuality,
punctuality
is not there.
Organization.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
And what I'm saying is that like let those guys handle the kids that are 2 weeks into SoundCloud, or I'm doing this for fun, or I just want to go out and I want to perform and I want to jump around and be a meme or whatever. Fine.
Since the internet,
let those guys handle that. But when it comes to being serious and let's put on a show and let's put on something that people are going to stay the whole time for.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's find the right artists that are going to be able to do that, because they're there.
They are.
Yeah. I mean, and I use Summer Jam again as an example. I mean, I personally, you gotta also think, you know, we're young kids. So when Summer Jam and all of those things started to happen for the first time, I didn't really know what was going on. I really didn't. I was a young kid. And so now that I've been, my first Summer Jam was 2 years ago, but this one was the one where I've never seen a crowd like that before. Do you agree?
At Tellus, right?
This was the one at Tellus, this one, because you performed there.
Yeah.
That's where we first talked about coming back and doing an interview.
Yeah. Okay.
So there was, that crowd was something that, especially for somebody that goes to Millersville, seeing a lot of the college involvement there, and then seeing the flip side of it last week and being like, damn. Because, and I'm looking at the set list and I'm like, maybe this makes sense because this person's not here and this person's not here and this person's not here and this person's not here, and we wonder why it's a dead zone. So when we wrap this all up into one little box and we try to give it to a musician that wants to start up, it's a matter of, okay, can we rebuild this whole type of care package and start giving it out to artists and helping people like we would help anybody just even coming and doing an interview. I'm not paying you anything.
Right.
You're not paying me anything to be here. If this is an interview to sit down, let's talk, because I like your music and I want to talk to you and I'd like to interview you, and an interview is always something that can be helpful, right?
And you're from the city.
Exactly. And you're from exactly. So but
I would say like you have to study who came before you as far as it comes
absolutely
to showcases. So you study the bad ones and you study the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You have to take ownership of all of that and understand that some things are just what they are. Some things you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
Do you mean like
right?
Bite your tongue. For
and
a
that's what
bit.
I mean by
Yeah.
the care package piece, where it's like,
just,
do we give it to them, and do we give it to the young artists? Do we help form a mentorship around what this is?
Yes.
With the
Yes,
with
you
the
do.
older artists, with
Yes, you do.
other people that have been here for such a long time, and develop it as this care package that says you're going to be surrounded by people that have been working really hard to do the same thing that you're
Yes,
doing.
yes.
This is who you get to be around. This is what a sound check looks like. This is what it means to be on time. When you sell tickets, this is how that it may not be the best payment you're ever going to get in your entire life, right? But it's like,
But you're appreciated for your
you're
art and your
appreciated,
work.
and you're being paid for what you're worth.
Yeah.
And so then, or do we give it to?
No, there is no
do we
or,
give,
do we? No.
No,
This
it's
is what
the
you- that's
or,
what you
but the
do.
or is what we're getting right now.
Yeah.
The or is we're getting to a specific string of shows where you can only do one thing and you're not getting paid, and
That's not gonna last long because people are eventually gonna be tired of getting taken advantage of.
no,
And I think
feel
that's
that.
where we're at.
and that's where we're
getting there
at
closely.
So
we're right on. The
it's a
cusp.
matter of who's gonna light the fuse to make the transition.
I think people are like, we were talking, a little bit. I just think people are scared to say anything because
yeah.
of a quote unquote missed opportunity. Because if I open my mouth now, it's like, oh, he don't get to perform, she don't get to perform,
Right.
and then I'm like, in a sense, I'm blackballed from ever. Like, what if I can't step into the Chameleon?
So
What
the
if I can't
only
step in
way-
and Tell Us No More.
Right.
The only way to
perform.
rectify this is if we get more things like that, but we learn from their mistakes, like you
And
said.
Right.
you learn,
And I
and
think-
you adapt.
Exactly.
You know.
I feel as though that idea of like, shoot, what did you said? You said something about, shoot, why am I losing it? Dang it!
What?
I haven't done this in a while. I haven't blanked like this. What did you just say a second ago?
You learn and adapt.
Yeah, when you learn and you adapt, you also kind of have to understand like these opportunities that you're saying that you miss. I want to make this very, very clear, right? To any artist that is in Lancaster right now, and to anybody that listens to the show regularly, any artist that listens to the show, any artist that comes on here, you need to understand that this city is, one, not the only place on the planet.
For
okay?
sure.
And two, the way that you're being treated, if you feel a certain way about the way that you've been treated as of recent with things like shows and things like events, it's not always
Talk to us.
it either come talk to us, but it's not ever going to feel like this again, because now that we know what's going on, especially I know for myself and Nick, and I know that you're an advocate for this, and I know there's a lot of other people that are advocates for this, because now it's time for a change, because
There's an actual community out here now.
there's
It's
real people that are
It's
actually
real.
making really good music, and it would be a shame.
That it's so crazy to see the community for hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't really have that when I was coming up. Like, we didn't have that.
Yeah.
It was they were scared of it. You know what I mean?
It's a liability issue.
Yeah, people I think people are still scared of hip hop, but it's like
People still show
you can't deny hip hop anymore.
No. It's
I
it is
also
the
think,
biggest.
and I also think when we go back to that, like where people are scared,
Yeah.
if we develop something that is more structured and more, moving like a well-oiled machine, where it's like, okay, they're doing this for a good reason,
Right.
Yeah.
then I feel like that liability starts to disappear a little bit.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, it's still there, and as
Right.
sad as it is, like you were saying before, but go ahead.
It's to help build what you want to build, you have to tell the artist, you know what I mean, and then you have to reassure them with action. That's what anything that you do in life. But musicians especially, we're sensitive about our work.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? We're sensitive about everything that we do. You know what I mean? From our image to
Because it's from the heart.
yeah. You know what I mean? So you have to reassure these musicians that you're not gonna be getting fucked anymore. Pause. You know what I mean?
No,
you're not
you're
gonna get
right.
fucked.
No, I feel.
You're definitely
That's
right.
not gonna be happening to you no more. You have to be able to make sure that you can really deliver on a promise of being taken care of.
And I think that even somebody like you, where you're coming here, and because of even just the body of work that you've put together, how long you've been working at this, the opportunities that are still presented to you to this day, it show that it does not matter. It really, and I want to say that very, very, it does, like, even if it's an opportunity for us and you've got a lot of other things that you got going on and you don't rock with it and you feel some type of way, it's not the end of the world. You don't need to rock with us. You know what I mean? You don't need to rock with anybody else that's doing it. But what I'm trying to say right now and in this moment is, given the situation that I just experienced, I don't want to see that for any other artist, especially if you're working your ass off.
And
I
want to stop.
Exactly. And I really want artists to know that exactly what you said. Look, if you feel some type of way, take it, learn from the experience. This is exactly what you said to me when we were talking before we turned this camera back on. Take it, learn from it. And then, and next time,
and then you apply pressure.
Exactly.
Know the good and the bad.
Then you apply pressure, man.
And
it's all a learning process, man. And that's what any and everything you're going to do.
Yeah.
You mean, especially in the business of music.
Yeah.
You mean, because people don't look at it as an art form. We're artists, so that's how we look at it. I don't put dollar signs on my art, but somebody else does. If they feel like they can get something out of you, they're gonna fucking try. And that's plain and simple.
Right now.
Yeah.
No,
right now.
That's exactly where we're at right now. These people are taking advantage of people, and that's not okay. I mean, young musicians that are aspiring to want to be, Drakes and Kendricks and Coles and Travises.
I believe there's a good word or phrase for that. It's called cultural appropriation.
Yeah, culture vultures, man.
Definitely.
And that's
y'all don't give a fuck about the culture.
And I think we all know what we're talking about.
I mean, y'all don't give a fuck about the culture, but you'll be like, yo, hip hop this, and you my bro that, and and I rap on trap beats too, and
right.
Come on, dog.
He's pandering at that point.
Yeah, you mean like fuck out of here. All of that shit.
It's a fake. I feel like it's a fake situation where it's just a money grab and to boost your ego.
Yeah,
and that's really
for sure.
And I guess a great way to kind of just tail out of that is that, like, look, as an artist and as people, we can sit here and we can be like, oh. Yeah, and I'm trying to learn from this too, because like there's so many pieces to a lot of the things that are happening in this city that I know about, where I can sit here and I can just go, this is what's up, this is what's up, this is what's up. But it's a matter on how we touch on it, so it's not where it's just like I'm gonna sit here and bitch and moan. But what I am gonna say is,
and that's why I said you gotta put that stuff into action.
Exactly.
And then you can talk your shit.
Exactly. Because I can't sit here and be like, look, like this is what's going on, until I have a solution for it, because I'm not gonna bring something to the table. That's like bringing a problem to the table without a solution and being just like throwing it at an artist and just going, yo, it's okay. Like nothing's gonna happen for right now. This is what's going on.
But just know I got you.
Just know I got your back. If I can't bring something to the table, which I will. I want to make that very clear, and it's something that is at the top of my list for this year, which I will. It's not going to be the same, and when that comes full circle, it's going to be a very interesting ride, and that's pretty.
I think the city's ready for it. To be honest,
I think we are. We really need to move forward from this.
Shit, I wish y'all the best.
Absolutely. I want to jump transition into Cool. I want to know. I want to know.
What you want to know? Man?
I want to know the start, because I like what I saw at Summer Jam was. Wavy. I love it. I really did.
Creating our own lane. I'm not even actually an original member.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
who's the founder?
Van Blue. Okay. Van Blue and Rose Gold.
Yeah. Oh, okay, we know her.
We do.
Yeah. Incredible, man.
Yeah.
Bray. I don't know if you guys listen to Bray.
Sounds really familiar.
It does.
He's dope. MM2H mixtape Made It to Heaven. You guys know that?
Do you have something with?
I don't have anything with Bray. But that's not to say that we can't cook something. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. But those three were cool. And
creating our own lane.
Yeah. Bray, branched off and did his own thing for a little bit. And then I started making music with Van, I think 2015.
Okay.
Started making music for real with Van, and we just Cool was just always something that I wanted to be a part of, and we just never it just never.
That must have
happened.
felt really cool though. At least.
Yeah. To have before I moved to New York, we always talked about, look, we're gonna do this, and this, and we just never, for whatever reason, the universe wouldn't allow it at that time.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I came home, and boom,
here it is.
Opportunity is presented, and I took it.
Good.
And it's good to be around creatives that really believe in the art and push you, and you know what I mean, like they creatively all the time. I'll get a phone call, Van, be like, that's just, man, do that again, bro.
Do that again. It helps you, right?
Yeah. And you know, like I had this really, I felt, man, thinking about it now, I feel like, you know how old dudes be talking about our generation? Yeah. I feel like I was an old nigga trapped in a young nigga's body. I was like, man, that damn auto-tune. Yeah, what the hell is swag?
Joe Budden them.
Yeah, pretty much. I was the Joe Budden in the group. And then just being around them and watching them create, I was like, yo, there's really no rules to this shit at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
The end result is always good music with them.
Especially
so
there's
so there's no reason why can't I use autotune? Why shouldn't I be allowed to sing on a record?
Right.
If that's what I really feel.
And this is exactly what we talked about with Wednesday last week, and I really liked it. And it's something that's been replaying in my head. The idea of a genre and being able to be versatile, I feel, is now becoming more and more accepted throughout the community. Yeah. And I really think it's interesting to see which artists are going to be able to make that mark. And Definitely. I think it's really cool, especially now for the hip hop community, where it's like, can you make that mark? It's a challenge now, because if you can't hit that, and this is all this bullshit is all you can do, I'm sorry, you're canceled. You know what I mean?
No, I
you know, now I understand that you don't have to be super lyrical to be good at to be a good musician. Like that's just something that I want to do. I like being lyrical. Right. I like writing certain records,
and it shows for sure.
Right, you know what I mean? But like I understand now, like Rose, who can do pretty much anything that she fucking puts her mind to.
Great music.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like she can rap her ass off. Van can rap his ass off. When they really want to do that shit, they can do that shit. Yeah. But it's not what they want to do right now. You know what I mean? Like they're all what they want to do right now is they want to capture a feeling and push an emotion out of people. You know what I mean? That's what they want to do right now. You know what I mean? Like I want to
a rapper.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I want to talk about some serious shit, and they don't always want to do that.
I feel. But I feel like it gives it helps diversify the group though.
It does, and that's what Cool is about. Is just, look, man, like we're not gonna knock you for wanting to do this, and you're not gonna knock us for wanting to do this.
Word.
You know what I mean? We're gonna push each other, and it's in the name, creating our own lane.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like we're with you along for the ride, but this is your journey. You know what I mean? Like we can't tell you how to make art.
Right.
Art is very subjective.
This is now
super subjective.
It's not. Well, I love making music with other people. It's something that I thrived on for a while.
Yeah.
And when you do it by yourself and when you do it with a group of people, it's a very different experience each time.
Yeah.
And when I think that's really interesting for you to say, where it's like, okay, so now we can actually just branch out and do whatever we want, but we still have each other's backs and we're learning from each other. Would you say?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Like these guys, man. Like with Growing Pains, the new album that's coming out.
Okay.
It sounded so, like, I wanted it to sound old school, and they were like, no, that's not it.
Because that shit gets no play anymore.
Yeah, they're like, look, man, you can still be you and rap on new beats. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it took me to, like...
That's some Cole shit, too. Even Cole was just saying that.
Yeah, man. Look, man, it took Van to... I don't know if you ever heard behind it. It was on the first Cooligans. It's one of his albums.
Oh, okay.
He was like, yo, man, got this beat, boom, boom. He's playing it in the car. And I'm vibing out to it. I wrote to it. And he's like, see, you could do that. This is my favorite verse ever from you, dog. Like,
right.
You could do that shit.
Right.
You could still be you and rap on trap beats. You know what I mean? You could. I was singing an auto-tune on that joint. I ain't never did that shit. I was like, man, I don't want to. And the entire time in the studio, I was like, man, I don't want nobody to know I did this shit.
Like, and then when it was done,
amazing.
It was awesome.
There you go.
It's like Juicy. The song Juicy by Notorious B.I.G.
Oh yeah, he hated that.
He hated it. He said he heard the sample and he was like, this shit is some bubblegum trash.
Yeah, he was
ain't
like,
nobody gonna listen to this.
And then
now look.
Yeah,
look. So, you know, I can completely see where you're coming from.
So yeah, completely. I mean those guys, man, I'm indebted to them forever for helping me grow.
Shouts to them.
Yeah,
for real.
I want to get Rose in here.
Yeah,
definitely.
Listen, That's my.
I definitely want to get Rose in here.
Make that happen. Help us make it happen.
I got you.
All right, bet.
She hit me in the DMs the one time. She was asking where
Yeah,
Scott's studio was.
Yeah, we were talking about doing something sometime this month, but we just never kind of like circled it. I wasn't sure, but yeah,
I got you.
Word,
I'm
word,
the plug for
All
that.
right, bet. Word. Well, speaking of just making music and your music and where you're trying to go with all of this, experimenting, things like that. Do you have any new projects coming for us? Anything that we should be looking out for? Or?
Yeah, I got an album that we're finishing.
Oh wow.
It's called Growing Pains.
Where are you guys doing that?
I was working at the Triforce Studios.
Okay.
It's like right above Whacker and Thistle. I don't know if you guys ever been over there.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that one.
I don't think I've heard of that.
Whacker, Thistle, and Finch. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a brewery.
There's studios popping up left and right in Lancaster.
Interesting. You have to talk. We'll have to talk about that. That's actually. Is it like do they normally do like hip hop like?
Every once in a while, but like I'm really like
that's why.
Word.
That's the only like hip hop cat that they really fuck
word.
with.
Well, that's pretty tight though.
We know there's a lot of studios for rock and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of guitar based stuff.
Yeah,
drums and.
Yeah, for you to be able to do a full band type deal.
Yeah,
but that's dope.
So yeah, I did a lot of my track and vocals there.
Okay.
I tracked a lot with Van, and I have Carl Bonner mixing and mastering.
That name sounds so familiar.
He's amazing.
Why does that name sound so familiar?
He's a pretty, I don't know.
Is he from around here?
He's from Philly, but I've been working pretty closely with him for like the last year.
Something about that. I don't know what it is, and I'm gonna figure it out at some point. It may take me a few days, but like I'll let you know once I kick it, because something is ringing that bell, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, Carl's dope.
Okay, word. So when do you have a tentative date?
I don't have a date. I'm just, when it's done, because we had it mixed, and then I was like, yo, we gotta go back and do it again.
Redo it.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes a process, man. It's really just one of those things where it's, I saw this on Twitter the other day. I forget who tweeted it, but they were like, somebody was like, we need new music from you. And he was like, just wait, like I'm making some appetizers right now. You can't cook greatness in a microwave.
That's facts though.
Ooh, why did that shut off?
That's facts.
Huh. Give us 1 second.
We're gonna switch batteries.
Yep. All right. Sorry about that, guys. We are back. We got that all back up and running. Anyway, so you said you didn't have a tentative date.
Yeah, no date yet. Cooligans 2, January 25th. It's a compilation album.
Great.
From Van.
It's like 2 days before my birthday. That'll be great.
Yeah. So we got. I don't even know if I want to give y'all. Listen, for sure we got Bray on it. I'm on that joint. I don't know who else Van really wants to get on it.
And if you want to find out who else is on it, you're just gonna have to listen to it.
Is that gonna be an all platform?
Yeah, all platforms.
All platforms. Check that out. January 25th. Yeah, absolutely. You got anything else?
Oh man.
Shout out to anybody.
I got so much. I just can't even listen, man. I wrote Growing Pains while I was writing another album. So it's a more socially aware album. It's called Niggas. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. It's a Tupac acronym. So get ready for that too.
I love it.
I like it already.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm definitely rocking with it already.
Shout out Living Lawless.
For real. Curtis is here.
Curtis is hiding.
He's hiding. I don't know if he wants to pop his head in. We'll check in on. We have a plan to check in on Curtis. Give us about a month.
Yeah. It's gonna be cool.
We got some of your favorites coming back. So
sure.
Yeah.
Curtis though, man, that guy, he's teaching me a lot about the business aspect of things. Like I said to you before, he's trying to teach me how to really, lock in and separate the art.
That's what he is to me.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's my guy. He's like he's a brother now. You know what I mean? Like him, Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All of these guys, man, great guys.
Absolutely. Anything else?
Hey man, listen. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. Cool or die. Cool shit only. That's it.
Facts.
It's the only no disrespect to nobody else. I'm not saying it to be a hater, but like I just it's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Word.
It's cool.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's who I fuck with. I mean, you know what? I like Choreo though. Choreo's alright. Choreo's alright.
Shouts Choreo.
Shouts Choreo. Yeah. Well, guys, thank you for coming, bro. I really do appreciate you. Absolutely.
Dope having you on.
It was great talking to you. Yeah. Nick, as always, you know how it is. Guys, we will see you next week. Peace out.